Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 4th, 2022, and this is the weekly live stream that we get on Sundays at the open of the DXY trading. Okay, the US dollar currency index, which on this channel we purport to be the market mover. Okay, it's not some massive whale putting in tens of billions of dollars trading, or some big VC fund or anything like that putting in tens of billions of dollars to move this market every time it moves. Okay, because remember, Bitcoin is a 400 plus billion-dollar market. You don't move it on, with the purchase of a few $1,000,000. It doesn't do that, right? And also, the data shows us that the DXY, the US dollar currency index, is inversely proportional to Bitcoin's price. So, it's only right that when the DXY moves either up or down significantly, then Bitcoin does as well in the opposite direction. Okay, and this is why it's likely that weekend trading isn't much of an occurrence. I mean, it's likely that we don't get huge moves on the weekend, barring Sunday, starting at the open of the DXY. Okay, and the DXY opens at 6 p.m. Pre-trading opens at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and now we're seeing some activity, a little more activity. Okay. So let's look at that. What's going on in the markets, right? Been a sleepy weekend, right? The title of this live stream is Breakout, right? Inquisitively asking, breakout? Is this it, right? And on the weekly chart, which is a very interesting chart, you can very easily see that this momentum indicator is indicating a bullish cross that's right about to happen, okay, at the weekly close. And the weekly close is obviously Sunday at 8 p.m., I believe. And I think it happens at 7 p.m. these days because daylight savings. So in about 20 minutes, we should get a close of this weekly candle. And I think the subsequent candle should be a continuation of this move, a breakout of this reversal that we saw. Okay, and so I really do think it's now or never. I know it's always possible. It's always possible that we get a move back down, but I think that's very improbable. It's not impossible. It's improbable. I think the most probable move is a continuation of what we see here, of a breakout of this pattern that we saw on the lower time frame. Okay, and if the relationship between the US dollar currency index and Bitcoin remains, we should see continuing downside in the DXY. Okay, so on the 4-hourly time frame, what are we seeing? We're seeing that the DXY is kind of doing a little bit of consolidation, but intra-wave consolidation for continuation of this trend. So that looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Let's see. Hourly time frame, it looks like it still has to continue this trend. It's not bottomed out on the hourly time frame. 4-hourly we already saw. Daily looks like, yeah, it's open. It's cross bearish and it's open and it hasn't found any support at this level. Okay, typically with these opens and closes, right, we see a gap up or a gap down. Let's see, did we get, so Friday to Sunday the 4th, I get we got a bit of a gap up, maybe, perhaps. a lot of a gap up, right? Because this is hourly. We got a lot of a gap up. Not a lot of a gap up, a bit of a gap up. And then we continue to go up, and now we're coming back down from that. Okay? So yeah, I mean, the trend is favorable to the downside for the DXY, and it's favorable to the downside for Bitcoin dominance, which we know is also important as an indicator, showing us a bull market, right? Showing us that crypto is going up, and when crypto goes up, altcoins gain against Bitcoin's market cap. So that's all favorable, but it's been favorable, right? It's just, for some reason, I'm not exactly sure, Bitcoin hasn't responded as it hasn't responded as directly to what's happening with the DXY, to what's happening with the DXY on the smaller time frames. Again, remember, the relationship that we see with Bitcoin and the DXY that I'm always quoting is a monthly relationship, and I'm going to show you this right now real quick. Right, this is a monthly chart, right? The DXY going up and down, Bitcoin going up and down, but almost completely inverse. This is a monthly chart. So every candle is a month worth of price action, worth of price data. So within that month, it's not necessarily tied at the hip, right? It's not that Bitcoin goes up on the minute chart and the DXY goes up on the minute chart and Bitcoin goes down on the minute chart. Not necessarily the case. It may be in certain instances, but it's not necessarily the fact that that is accurate on such a small time frame. Okay, now we saw the weekly. So that's why I'm expecting a breakout, a continuation of this trend, right? See a bottoming out on the weekly time frame, continuation of this trend. That's exciting. So if that's true, before we go into the smaller time frames, if that's indeed true, that this is happening on a weekly time frame, a move up should be on that time frame, meaning we should be going up for weeks at a time, fulfilling this, right? That's the idea. Like, this should come up for weeks at a time, maybe even hovering here, right? We go on the monthly time frame. What do you see? Completely bottomed out. You pretty much, and this is the extent to which Bitcoin is oversold. Look at the momentum indicator. It's been bottomed out for the entire calendar year, right? That is really, really oversold. It is distressed, right? It's great buying opportunity. All of 2022 was an excellent buying opportunity for Bitcoin, right? According to this momentum indicator. And I always say on this channel, like, all the fancy Elliott waves and, all the fancy REITs aside, you can do really, really well. Like, really, really well. With some patience and just this one indicator. It's got to take patience, though. And most people don't have it. So, even though it seems easy, it's not. Because you got to be patient as hell. You see that this high time frame indicator with this on this chart, right? Bitcoin with this asset with enough data where this indicator is reliable enough. Because remember, you're not always getting a lot of data with these indicators because there's not enough price action data. But Bitcoin has been around for long enough that this stochastic RSI indicator is relatively reliable. If you were to use this and say, well, I'm going to buy when it comes down here into oversold territory, I'm going to sell when it comes up here into overbought territory, you do really well. You'd do really well. You'd beat most of the market. And you would never have to do anything else except wait. Most people can't do that. So most people wouldn't be able to do this. You see what I mean? A lot of people like short time frames because it responds to the urge of it satisfies their desire for quick hits, like those quick dopamine hits. But like good investing sometimes is boring and it takes a long time. But this would be a great move. Anything in 2022 is a great buy. That means yes, buying all the way up here, right? Around 40K, that's great. People don't understand that. People do not understand that. In any case, just on the weekly time frame being oversold, the monthly time frame is also oversold. So waiting for this to get overbought is also what we're looking at. So I think just looking at the high time frames is very clear that this move is way past due, and it's more likely than not that you go up rather than go down. There's nowhere else to go. You're on the bottom here. Okay, so that's the high time frame read. And so this is why I'm looking for a breakout both on the weekly and the monthly time frame. Okay, now let's go down to the daily time frame, see what's going on. This is also a little confusing to a lot of people, but I will repeat it because it's worth repeating. It bears repeating. When your high time frame indicators, like the monthly and the weekly, are both completely oversold, and you're going to enter an impulsive market, right? A bull market, right? Because I'm talking about oversold price action. You should not give too much. You should not give too much credence to the smaller time frames being overextended. I didn't want that. I wanted. What do I want? I want not the ray. The path. Where's the path? Here. Don't give too much credence to this. This can just keep coiling up. Just keep coiling up. It's basically showing exactly what you're seeing on the high time frames. It's just saying we're so oversold that I'm just going on the smaller time frames. I'm just going to hang out up here in overbought territory. Because the larger, remember, when you're doing this analysis, right? And this is where some traders fail, because some traders only have a myopic scope of the market, right? They're only trading like the hourly time frame, and they're only successful in that climate, in that environment. Okay, once the trend changes, the mode of the market changes, their trading strategy doesn't work anymore. How many times have you heard this? For people who study trading, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you study trading, I mean, you look and you study other styles, you read accounts of traders and how they're at certain firms, prop firms or whatever, trading desks, and they're like, all of a sudden it stopped working. It had been working, I was really profitable, all of a sudden it stopped. Why is that? Because the market goes through different seasons, just like, the planet does, right? You have an accumulation season, sideways, right? Where the name of the game is buy the bottom of the range, sell the top. And you don't really trend, right? Your trends do happen, but on a small time frame, okay? But it's more about catching first delineating the range and then playing the range, okay? That's a whole style. That's a style of trading. Some of the best people to do this are like the Chart Champion group. The Chart Champion group, if you look them up, they're really elite range traders. But then that their company was founded in a range, and the company was built range trading, and people were taught to trade ranges. But I don't know, because I'm not a part of their business. But would not be surprised if when the market starts trending, a lot of things in that company at that firm start breaking. A lot of their models start breaking. You have to understand, it changes. Like it's like you live in a temperate zone, you buy a winter jacket, and you just move to that place, and you go through 3 4 months 5 months maybe of a wicked winter. It's very cold, and you're like, oh, I got the hang of it. I know, I drink hot cocoa, I bundle up, and then all of a sudden spring comes around and you're still dressing the same. You can't do it. It doesn't work, right? You're going to be uncomfortable. It's same thing in the market, right? Sometimes you're sideways. That's one mode, okay? That's accumulation, consolidation. Sometimes you're impulsive up, right? That's the other mode. And even when you do correct, right? Because you're always going to do some consolidation, it's interwave consolidation. So it's short lived. Very quickly after that interwave consolidation, you go back into impulse, okay? That's another mode, okay? And then there's the down mode, okay? Same thing as the previous mode that I just showed, but in the opposite direction. Those are the three modes, essentially, of the market, okay? You could say, you could characterize it as such. There's a lot of ways you could characterize it. You could split it up and say, any consolidation, whether intrawave or reversal, is a mode. Okay? I've also described it in different ways. So I've described up and down impulse as one mode. I've also described consolidation intrawave as one mode. And then I also described the consolidation reversal as another mode. Okay? Different modes of the market, right? At the end of the day, you can skin a cat in different ways. But I'll say that given this mode that we're just leaving now, which I believe that we're just leaving, a lot of people are not going to know how to trade these markets because that's a different mode, right? And on the high time frames, it looks like what we just saw on the weekly and the monthly time frame. That's what it looks like before the up only mode starts. But then on the lower time frames, you're going to look at the indicators and they're all going to look like they stay oversold for quite some time before resetting. And then when they reset, what you're going to see is price action is not going to go down much, and then they're going to go and then stay oversold for quite some time and then reset. Do you understand? So you're going to make, if you go back and you do your back testing, you're going to see that. You're basically going to see stuff like that, just like what I showed. On the high time frames, what you would consider high time frame, like a daily time frame, you're going to see something like this. Does that make sense? Because on the higher, even higher time frame, it's trending. And so the trend makes the daily time frame, the monthly and the weekly trend on the daily time frame makes it look like it's just up. It's basically just stuck on that higher oversold in that mode, and it doesn't spend much time in this mode, overbought mode. So this is something we're likely to see, and even more so on even smaller time frames. So just a word to the wise, if we do indeed break out and start running impulsively to the upside, don't be surprised if you were previously quite successful in reading markets using the 4-hourly, the hourly, and the maybe even the daily, using the momentum indicators. Your momentum indicators are going to be very confused. You gotta read them in context of the new market. Okay. Let's see what's going on with the DXY. Okay, this is what we thought. Like, we're just getting a rejection down. This should translate into our move up. The Bitcoin dominance is also looking like it's coming down. That's basically saying that some altcoins are already starting to go up, okay? Even though Bitcoin hasn't yet. On the smaller time frame, 4-hourly time frame, This looks to me... let's see. Let's measure this real quick. Okay, yeah, that's super bullish. You see what I just did there? I took this as the start of my impulse. That's wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, okay? That's my A wave. That's my B wave. That's my C wave, looks like. Okay? Looks like, according to this, you literally put in your wave 2 and hit your minimum retracement. Like, Bitcoin is retracing minimally. That shows a lot of buy pressure. Lots of buy pressure. Do you see that? Minimum retracement of wave 2. Right? Elliott wave is 382. Maximum 618. With this C wave, and I'm going to get a little more... I'm going to annotate this just so everybody knows what I'm talking about. But this is likely what happened. Here we go. Like this. Okay, I see 5 waves up. And I see 3 waves down right here. Okay, and I see this, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. The 382 being hit by those 3 waves down, minimal retracement. And then what I see after this is some sort of... Actually, hold up. 1 second. I did have a count, but I hit it. So I'm just going to do it over again, which is okay. No. 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 Yeah, okay. I just measured, and this is most likely wave 4. Most likely wave 4. And I think I said that on Friday, right? But again, it's not something that I think I said that on Friday, but it's fine. Like, I like sometimes forgetting my previous analysis and just doing it with a clear head so I don't have bias. Okay? Yeah, that's exactly what I put down. And actually, I hit it, and I know it's still there, so let's just unhide it. Yep. This is I think the most accurate, most probable count, most probable situation, right? You go up for wave 3, all of this W, X, Y, X, Z perhaps has been some sort of complex double or triple 3, and now you're going up for wave 5. Okay, I feel like your retracement for wave 4, let's see, if you take wave, let's see, maybe it's wave 3 goes all the way here, so then it would be W, X, Y. Yeah, I would say wave 4. It could be a triple 3. If it keeps going here, it's a double 3. If it comes back down before going up, it's a triple 3. Either way, I think this is a complex wave 4 correction. It's taken a decent amount of time, and it just fits with the measurement of things, right? If you measure wave 3 using wave 1, retracement of wave 2, I think this is clear, right? You get I would say it's even here. Yeah, that's why I put it here before. I'd say this is W, X, Y, X, Z. Yeah, I think this is a triple 3 that you put in. Okay, so I think you're just coming out of that wave 4 correction into wave 5. That's what I think is happening on the smaller time frame. and that it's very likely that you're putting in an extended wave 5. This is going to be your big impulse that most people sort of take notice of. Okay. Let's see. Let's go down. That's pretty much it, right? Now with the bit of time we have left, because I gotta go meditate, let's look at some other assets. First, let's just look at the watch list, see if anything is... Okay, we just hit 7 p.m., which is the open, or the daily close and the daily open. So on the weekly time frame, that was the weekly close, weekly open rather, as well. See, that crossed. So your bullish cross is confirmed on the weekly. Okay. Let's go back on the 4 hourly. I'm seeing a lot of the same thing, right? Nothing's really changed since last time I went live on Friday. You're still in this region right here, which I believe is some sort of complex wave 4 correction. Yeah. I think this is gonna play out, and then this is gonna be the continuation of that. You see on the 4 hourly time frame, you're completely oversold for Polkadot, so it's very likely that once you finish this intra-wave consolidation, whatever it is, you just continue. Cardano, same deal. I don't know that this is necessarily wave 4. I don't know what this count is, but it definitely is likely to be some sort of intra-wave consolidation. You're oversold in your momentum indicator. You continue up. You got a very nice W pattern here that you're retesting the neckline of for continuation upwards, right? So again, nothing's really changed since Friday. You pretty much just went sideways, and you're looking to continue upwards in a pretty impulsive way. And remember, every single time you go sideways, you're accumulating orders. And some people even like to flip the sideways into the vertical, saying however long and however much you go sideways, you go that much more up or down, right? But yeah, all of that impulsive price action comes from somewhere. It comes from accumulation, and we've had a lot of accumulation. So when it comes, don't be surprised if it's violent to the upside. Okay, reserve rights, same thing. You've pretty much held this sideways accumulation. You've gone down a bit since Friday, but it is nothing's changed in terms of that that price action. Same with Dodo. You've gone sideways since Friday. You've just gone sideways, right? But right, up, impulse up, sideways, you're likely to continue. That's still the read. Hasn't changed. Same with Ethereum. I think now it's more clear to see that it's likely... Let's see. Yeah. This looks like an intra-wave, wave 4. It can't be a wave 2 because it's taken way longer than this formed. So if anything, if anything, I think the likely read is something like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, right? You're putting in a leading diagonal. This would constitute a leading diagonal. Remember, leading diagonals are 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Ending diagonals are 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So I think you're putting in a leading diagonal here. And you're looking for that big breakout of this inverse head and shoulders of this neckline right here. And that's pretty much true with the rest of the market, right? You got these massive necklines that you're under, massive resistances that you're under. Yeah. Just patience is the name of the game. It's crazy how long this has taken, right? But I mean, the reward's definitely worth it. But yeah, you just have to be patient as a trader. Read your best and then wait, right? I think this is what's going on here for Dogecoin. Litecoin's pretty much been doing that for the longest time. For almost, what is it now? A couple weeks almost now, yeah? I'm not exactly sure how to count this right here, but it looks to me like some sort of I don't know if it's intrawave. Yeah, I don't know how to count this. Is it a wave 4? I think it has to be, or else if it's intrawave, it has to be wave 4 because it's taken way too long for wave 2. I think, right, if I don't like overthink it, usually that's the best way to just give a good read. You just see what you see and you keep it moving. I think it's a wave 4. You know, this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, this is wave 4. That's my best read. Paralysis by analysis. Sometimes you overthink it, right? With all the training and the experience, sometimes it's just, if you get out of your own way, you just let yourself do it. Your first read is usually the most accurate. So that's what I would say for Litecoin. For synthetics, I still think that this is a corrective move, just going into impulse right now. Yeah. I think. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I think I've done this before. 1 day, 8 hours. Yeah, it's a corrective move, I think. It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4 situation, but I don't know. It could be. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? It could be a leading diagonal. Could. But I think the most important thing is not whether it's a leading diagonal or it's an A, B zigzag. The most important thing is it going up or down? More than likely going up from here. Breaking this resistance right here to the upside. Algorand, I mean, this is as clear as day. There's so many things here. There's this trading range, right? You're at the bottom of the trading range, likely going up. And then if you just look at this as a small trading range, you've accumulated here for continuation up. And then you can count this as 2 degrees of AB basing, right? A wave, B wave, A wave, B wave, right? 2 degrees of AB basing, and a small pivot and the breakout. So yeah, Algorand's just been hanging out at the bottom of that larger range, and then the stochastic RSI indicator is oversold. It's been oversold for quite some time. Binance Coin. I did say that I thought it was coming down a bit, or it was likely to come down a bit to fulfill the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement. But if it didn't, that this would be an intra-wave correction. So I think that this is some sort of intra-wave correction. I don't see how else to count it. I think you do something like this. Yeah, I think this is now a wave 4. But yeah, that you're not gonna go up too much higher before doing your correction. Let's see. It's almost a full moon, isn't it? And what do we know about full moons? We know that 0 to 3 days after a full moon, you can expect the market to bottom. So let's see, the full moon. The next full moon is the 7th. That's in 3 days. But yeah, if you add 3 days, let's say 0 to 3 days after that, so anywhere from the 7th to the 10th. Let's see. That makes sense here. No, this has been a while. Yeah, don't be surprised for, these waves to be extended. If this is an extension, right, of wave 3 extension, let's say wave 1 and 2 are down here, as I indicated, wave 3 can just still be cooking, right? You can have a really extended waves in a bull market. So don't get too not financial advice, but don't be too surprised if you just keep going up with these extensions and it's hard to count. I think something similar is happening here in XRP. I feel like this is more likely than not some sort of wave 4, complex wave 4 correction. Looks triangle-ish. Looks like a triangle, but I would say it's... Yeah, it could be a triangle. It's a nice triangle. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a triangle. ABCDE triangle. But it looks like it wants to break out. And of course the breakout would be... The target would be this right here. Bull flag. Yeah, this is a bull flag. This is the... What do you call it? The flagpole. And then you also have this as a resistance that you're playing with, and you break out. This is your target up here. Yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. But yeah, the move, as I said Friday, is more likely than not up. Always dealing in probabilities. But yeah, I think probabilistically it's up. And you're just on the cusp of a breakout. So, creator says pump, 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 pamp, pump, pump. I don't have a good accent for it. Pamp, pump, pump. But yeah, I agree. I think it's we're getting to the point where it's going to happen. Right? We've been waiting for it. We've been expecting it. The markets have been saying it. All our indicators have been saying it. All kinds of indicators. it's more likely than not that it happened. And so when it does happen, yeah, don't be surprised if it just goes, then, cools off a bit and then keeps going. Uh, this is what the technicals are telling me, and a lot of on-chain indicators are also telling us the same story. So this is what I'm prepared for. This is what I'm positioned for, and yeah, just wait, because this is really the superpower of the successful trader. The ability not only to read but to wait for the execution, and waiting is part of executing your trading plan. I've waited 600 plus days for this, and I will continue to wait until it happens. But my read is such that when it does happen, when it does happen, I will be greatly rewarded for having executed my trading plan and not given up on it. So yeah, basically that's it, guys. I'm gonna go to meditation. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend or whatever is left of it, and I'll see you tomorrow for the daily live stream on Monday. Take care. Bye.